night,
Yes, here you
okay?
go.
All right?
Welcome.
So this is what I'm going to do. When
Perfect.
I raise up this
Can
arm,
you take all of your trash
I want this
off?
side to scream. When I lift up this arm, I want this side to scream, okay? Are you ready? Who's excited? Y'all, it's gonna be a good night tonight. We are so excited. Y'all, vibe is about to be lit. I hope you guys are excited to get into worship here in a minute. I hope you guys are gonna have a blast.
Wait,
Make sure you
I
guys.
have a question.
Oh, what's your question?
Yes, because of who follows our Instagram? Okay. So now the top 2 movies right now are Elf and Polar Express. So I need a vote. Who thinks Polar Express is better than Elf? Who
Easy.
thinks Elf is better? My movie's
It's
better.
Polar Express.
Mine's better.
No, I heard Polar Express. No, thank you.
It's Elf.
No.
They're saying Elf.
It's Tom Hanks or nothing.
They're saying Elf. It's Will Ferrell. All right. I need to know, red or green, what is the ultimate Christmas color? 1, 2, 3, go. Red.
Yeah, red.
I disagree.
Green.
Christmas trees are green. Garland is green. The Grinch is green.
Oh, boo. Grinch. Oh.
I love the Grinch.
That was
Thank
a mistake
you. Do you
of a
see that facial
Christmas
expression on
movie.
Sydney? That's what you just caused.
No.
Anybody like the Grinch? Any Grinch?
Boo. I heard it.
Okay, Grinch or Rudolph? Is Rudolph better?
Yes. 100%
Or is the
Rudolph's
Grinch better?
I'm just losing.
Boom.
Hey, all that matters tonight was that Brandon and St. Pete came out and represented. I don't care what game I lose. Brandon and St. Pete came through
You
tonight.
guys did great. After a long losing streak, you needed a good win going out of 2020.
We're not giving up our
honestly.
streak. In January, we'll be back.
We'll
be
see.
back, ready to go.
We'll see. All right, while we clean up this stage, y'all check out this video.
Don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you.
What's up, Bob? Who's ready to worship tonight? Come on, we're gonna sing it out. Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. Come on, I can't hear you. Reaching beyond the skies, running deep, stretching wide. Perfect love realize here with you. Come on now. Now this love is for real. You will never let go, never let go. Oh, and it's more than just words left beyond my control, out of control. Hands up, here we go. This is real love. This is real love. This is real love. This is real love. Oh. Come on, we sing. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is real love. This is real love. In your heart, I'm found. I want you. I want you. You won't let me down. You got me. You got me. Come on. Now this love is for real. You will never let go. Never let go. Oh, and it's more than just words left beyond my control, out of control. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. Come on. This is real love. This is real love. Oh. Come on, we sing it out. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. This is real love. This is real love. Oh. All right, everybody. Who's ready to go crazy? Yeah, here we go. Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. 1, 2, 3, let's go! This is real love. This is real love. Come on. This is real love. This is real love. Oh. One more time, we say. You're pulling me closer and closer, holding my heart till the very end. Jesus, I'm found in your freedom. Sing, this is real love. This is real love. This is real love.
Come on, who's excited to be here tonight? Come on, let's put our hands together like this. There is no shadow that has ever overcome your light, and there is no rival that could ever stand against your might. You've always been with us. faith. I will crush disappointment and break every. Come on! All of my fear I will turn into praise. Shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. All of my fear I will turn into praise. Shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment. Show me one thing he can't do. Show me a mountain he can't move. He's the God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. Show me one thing that's too hard. Show me waters he can't part. He's the God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. It's possible. Come on. We thank you, Lord. Come on, let's lift up a shout of praise. Come on, let's sing that chorus out one more time. Show me one thing he can't do. Show me a mountain he can't move. He's the God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. Show me one thing that's too hard. Show me waters he can't part. He's the God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. Oh, oh.
Come on, I know how it can sometimes go where we walk into church and maybe we feel like, yeah, we're singing all these songs about God, but we walk in and we're like, is that really who we serve? Like, you know, I've been praying lately and I don't feel like I can hear God. I don't feel like he's listening. So I don't know what you came in here with, but I just want to let you know that God has a plan for your life, that God loves you, God's redeeming you right this instant. Everything that you came in here with, I just know right now that chains are gonna fall off your life. The marriage of your parents that maybe you've been praying for, it's gonna be restored. That the things that you walked in here with, depression, anxiety, it's gonna fall at the feet of Jesus tonight. So I don't know what you came in here with, but can we just restore that faith this night? Can we just restore that faith in the way maker, the miracle worker? Come on, let's sing. Are here, moving in our midst. You believe that? I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Oh, you are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. 'Cause you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God. Ooh, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you. Come on, sing. You are here. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I
Give God your best praise right now. Now it's time to celebrate. Come on. What's up, Vibe? Yo, who's excited to be here? Come on. I want to hear it. Awesome. Hey, Vibe, go ahead and take your seats real quick. Y'all get comfortable. It is the season to be jolly, all right? Hey, if I haven't had the chance to meet you yet, my name is Alex, and I get to serve as the Heights Student Director. Heights, where you at? Oh, come on.
And my name is Kayla. I get to serve as a South Tampa Student Director.
Hey. I think I see St. Pete up front. St. Pete, where you at?
And last, but of course not least, we have Brandon B-Town. Where you at?
B-Town! Well, hey, thank you guys so much for showing up to the last Vibe of 2020. But hey, first Vibe, we want to welcome a special group of people, and that's our first-time guests. Vibe, can we make our first-timers feel so welcome? Hey, we are so glad that you guys are here with us tonight. Kayla, don't they gotta do like a special little thing?
They do, because we are so excited that you made it to the very last Vibe of 2020. But y'all, when I tell you 2021 about to be next level, and you want to make sure, you want to make sure you are connected. So if it is your first time, we'd love for you to take out your phone. We already know you're already on it, it's fine. And go ahead and text Vibe Guests to 75787. That'll just get you connected to all of our updates we have for you, the next Vibe, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so while you're on your phones, Kayla just called you out. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Actually, take out your phones because we want you to follow us on Instagram at We Are Radiant Students. How many of you follow us right now? Raise that hand up. Yo, we do giveaways. You get to see yourself tonight. Like, we're posting pictures tonight. It's gonna be great. Make sure you follow us because you're gonna get all the updates, all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be super amazing.
And speaking of super amazing, guys, it is my favorite season, Christmas season!
Oh, come on!
And obviously my favorite way to celebrate Christmas is by watching Elf, obviously, the best Christmas movie. But my second favorite way to celebrate Christmas is by coming to Christmas Eve at Radiant!
Come on!
We are gonna have Christmas Eve services for you here at South Tampa on the 23rd. We've got services across all locations on the 24th. You wanna make sure you're there, but Alex,
Yeah.
I've got like a pretty good secret, okay?
Okay.
These Christmas Eve services, they are stupid packed.
Wait, hold on. You said dumb stupid?
Yeah, I said it.
Y'all
And
gotta
so,
be here. We
here's
got
the thing.
Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Eve.
It's a lot.
Like, come on.
It's a big deal. And so you want to make sure that you can save yourself a seat, and the only way you can do that is by registering online. So you want to keep an eye out on our Instagram, all that good stuff, so you know when to register and save yourself a seat.
Yeah, go ahead and register. Like I said, hey, like Kayla said, last Vibe of 2020, Christmas, all that kind of stuff. But hey, all right, this is a huge announcement. So we're gonna end 2020. It's gonna be amazing. But we're gonna look forward to January Vibe because the one and only Pastor Aaron is bringing the house down in January. Yo, that's our lead pastor. Come on. So y'all register. Y'all follow us on Instagram. Y'all register for it because it's gonna be so amazing. January 13th, guys, save the date. Wow.
And as if that wasn't crazy enough, this Sunday after that, January 17th, everyone say January 17th. We are starting city groups back up again! We just finished the most amazing city group semester ever. We're taking a little bit of a Christmas break, but we will be back on the 17th. Write it down on your phone, on your hand, on your forehead, whatever you need to do to remember it. Get in the room, be there, you don't want to miss it.
Kayla, will you write it on my forehead?
I would love to,
Like,
yeah.
oh my gosh. I love that. I'm sorry. Guys, so we're gonna, thanks for sticking around for the announcements. We have the best part of Vibe, and that, well, not the best part. It's a great part, but the best part is God. I mean, come on now. But a pretty awesome part is our giveaway, all right? How many of you think you won the giveaway? Just real quick. Wow, you guys do not have any faith in yourself. What's going on here? Anyway, so this giveaway, the winner is actually gonna be somebody who has almost perfect attendance at city group, someone who's faithfully serving on Sundays, inviting their friends, showing up with a can-do attitude, an excellent spirit, all right? And so this person truly deserved this, all right? And so, Pastor Ryan, if you would love to bring up our lovely gift for our giveaway. Vibe. Vibe, I need a drum roll, please. Our winner for Vibe December 2020, Hannah Chow! Hannah, get up here. Hannah, what do you got there? What do you got?
Dipped mini pretzels, toffee, and cream-filled wafer.
It's a whole bunch of good stuff. Yo, give it up for Hannah real quick. Man, I wish I was eating all of that. Goodness gracious.
Ooh, that was amazing. Such a great gift. We have such a great time left for you guys, but before we go any further, check out this video.
Drum roll, please. Drum roll.
Joy to the world.
All right, that was fine if it was like our first Vibe after COVID, but not okay for our last Vibe of 2020. So Vibe, how are you guys feeling tonight? Much better, much better. My name is Sarah, if I haven't got the chance to meet you yet. Thank you, I got one woo. And John and I, if you haven't met John, can you stand up real quick? That's John. He's my husband. I love him very much. We get to serve as the next gen pastors here at Radiant Church, which means we get to do vibes every month. We get to do city groups. He's in charge of Radiant College. We're some of our Radiant College people. Okay, we think it's a big deal that you guys came tonight. Like John, I think it's a huge deal. You could have done anything else with this time in your life ever. You could have been on TikTok right now, which hopefully you're not, but some of you might be. I don't know. I'm going to call you out. It's fine. But you chose to come, and I think it's a huge deal. And some of you came for the very first time. Vibe, can we go crazy for our first time guests tonight? It's a huge deal. And what that tells me is a couple things. One, maybe you didn't know what you're invited to and you're just always down for a good time, which you're my kind of people. I usually get in the car and I don't know where we're going to eat. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm down and I'm ready to go. Any Enneagram 7s in the room? I know I've got a couple of them. Y'all get it. Perfect. If it's your first time, another thing it tells me is that you are choosing to invest in your future. You being here tonight means that you have a calling, you have purpose, you have destiny. There's a reason why you're here. So I don't know what brought you here. I don't know if you even knew about anything except that your friends were showing up and you didn't want to be alone on a Wednesday night. But the fact that you're in the room means that God is not done with your life. The fact that you're here means that you have a future that is too important to put off. So one more time. Can we go crazy for all our first-time guests that are here tonight? I think it's a big deal. Guys, I'm so excited that we made it to the end of 2020. Like, I am so excited that, 2020's been cray-cray, and now we're at Christmas time, so everything's okay. We can be happy. I'm going to admit it, I have been set up for Christmas since October 31st. I have just been so excited and so over the chaos of this year that I'm like, I can have as long of a Christmas season as I want to. And then I found out about somebody who actually has their Christmas tree set up all year, and they just decorate it for different seasons. I'm like, she just one-upped me. I thought I was doing really good by being set up since October 31st, but it's fine. But you made it through 2020. So if it's okay with you guys, I'd love to recap some of the things that have happened in 2020 that we have survived. Is that okay? Okay, first of all, there were crazy fires in Australia. Anybody hear about that? They were taking over the whole continent. It's both. Prince Harry and Meghan quit the royal life. That happened this year. Anybody remember that? Yeah, obviously COVID-19. If you don't know who Prince Harry is, that's your fault, not mine. R.I.P. We did lose Kobe Bryant this year. Someone hacked Twitter accounts of presidential nominees as well as celebrities. I didn't even know that happened this year, but they were hacked. Murder hornets arrived in the United States. As if COVID wasn't enough. Griffin Johnson allegedly cheated on Dixie D'Amelio, in case you're keeping up with that chaos. I know. They tried to ban TikTok, but who knows? God is good. We still got TikTok, somebody. Jeffree Star apologized to James Charles, if anybody keeps up with that. I know, very emotional. Can you guys believe the song Savage and Yummy both came out this year? I feel like Yummy has been out for the last 5 years, and Savage is really part of my daily vocabulary now. If you were with me today, I think I said that and did the little dance like 12 times. I'm not even like exaggerating. And now, just to wrap it all up, Tampa doesn't have clean water. So as if we couldn't have enough going on in 2020, let's just throw in there that you have to boil all your water. If you're not in the Tampa area, we don't have water right now. We can't drink water. We can't do our dishes. It's disgusting. But anyway, I wanted to share with you guys 2 things that happened in my 2020. Is that okay? We're going to do the whole bad news first, good news second. So first of all, I don't know if I've actually talked about this anywhere yet except social media, but John and I did have COVID at one point. It was back in July. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, that was the scariest experience of my entire life. I get sick a lot. I get allergies. If you live in Florida, you just kind of get sick a lot. It's all the mold and the water and the gators. It's fine. But I got really sick. And you know how some people get COVID and they're like, oh, it was like a cold. I was fine. I wasn't one of those people. I couldn't taste or smell, which that was bad enough. And that was actually how I found out I had COVID, because I tasted the Lord's chicken called Chick-fil-A, and I couldn't taste it, and I couldn't taste my sweet tea. I was like, okay, something's wrong. And then I walked in at Bath & Body Works and smelled every single candle, and I couldn't smell any of them. I was like, okay, something's wrong. So by the time I got home that night, I started feeling like I got hit by a truck, and I was like, John, I don't think I'm okay. And we were supposed to do transitions at church that next day, and I was like, I can't go. I don't know what's wrong. Kid you not, the next day I woke up, I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I felt like my heart, like something was sitting on my heart the whole time. It was probably the scariest. I had never been to the ER in my life. John will tell you, I checked myself into the ER that night because I was like, I think I'm dying. And they literally sent me home and said, no, you have COVID. Congratulations, go home, ride it out, you'll be fine. I was like, I don't think this is how this is supposed to work. I came to you because I feel like I'm dying and you told me I am. And they said, if it gets worse, come back. If not, stay home and drink water and Gatorade. They said Gatorade would heal me. It did not. I never bought Gatorade. Some of you guys actually were really nice and brought me stuff, which was very kind. But that was the sad part of my 2020. Now let me tell you a positive part of my 2020. John and I, if you didn't know, we are expecting a little baby girl in May. We're very excited. So we got pregnant this year, which is very exciting. I don't know what John just said. I'm uncomfortable. So that's very, very exciting. Which, if you'd like to know all the things not to say to a pregnant person, I would love to talk to you after this, because so many people say things, and y'all stupid sometimes with what you say. I told some people last night, I was like, literally, some people don't understand that you don't say that. And we're already more emotional than it is. And I think we're stronger when we're pregnant. So just if you want to know those things as a future reference, I got you. But anyway, being pregnant means we were going to need a 2-bedroom apartment. Because y'all know, South Tampa, we can't fit a baby and John and myself and all that comes with John and myself in a 1-bedroom South Tampa apartment. That was just not going to happen, or one of us was going to die. And it was not going to be me. So I was like, we need a 2-bedroom apartment. And so, kid you not, we got back from vacation and then moved last weekend into a 2-bedroom apartment. And so the night before, John will tell you and attest that this is true. The night before, we had packed up all of our stuff. You guys ever move, you have all this stuff packed up, and then you realize, where am I going to sleep? We didn't think this through. I have no bed, and I can't sleep on the floor, because then I'm miserable the next day. So we have a pull-out couch. We said, okay, we'll sleep on that, I guess. Super uncomfortable. I'm sorry if you've ever been in our apartment and had to sleep on that. I told you it was comfortable. It is not. So I literally I was trying to go to bed that night. All of our house is packed up. Riley likes to move at night, which is her name. She was moving a bunch of things. I know, it's very cute. And then I went into full-blown panic mode. John will tell you, I started bawling. I was freaking out. I was like, John, what if our neighbors don't like us? in this new apartment. I'm not even kidding. Like, you guys can laugh. This was pregnancy hormones. I said, John, what if they're louder than our neighbors right now? John, what if we don't like the new apartment? I think a little, what if we don't like the smell of the new apartment? What if we don't like the room in the new apartment? I was having full-on breakdown. Like, I've dealt with anxiety, panic attack. This was worse. This was full-on anxiety, like, over an apartment move. And it was stupid because our apartment is beautiful. But I realized in that moment, and you guys can feel me if you've been here, I was having a full-on panic attack because I did not want to leave what I was comfortable with, what I was familiar with, and what felt good, because change was going to feel different. And I was just scared of something different. We had gotten very comfortable in our apartment. The apartment before that one had rats, so this one felt like heaven. I was like, oh my gosh, I never want to leave. And then I didn't want to leave at all. I didn't want to leave. And there's somebody in the Bible that also probably felt like they had to be pushed out of their comfort zone. I'm going to give you a heads up. She's a Christmas character. But the only way that we can ever go on to live a life that makes history is we're going to have to go out of our comfort zone a little bit, right? So tonight, if you're taking notes, which you should be, tonight the title of what we're talking about is How to Make History. How to make history. So I'm going to pray, and then I'm going to tell you about the girl in the Bible that I'm talking about. Y'all pray with me. God, thank you so much, first of all, for Christmas. Thank you for coming down as a baby because you loved us so much and you wanted a relationship with us. I pray that you would speak to us tonight. Help us to be open to what you have to say. And God, let every person that walks out of here make the decision that they want to make their life count and they want to make history because life is too short. God, we love you. We trust you. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, so let's read about the person in the Bible that I'm talking about. Homegirl's name is Mary. So we're going to go to Luke chapter 1, if you have a Bible or the Bible app or whatever you'd like to follow along with. Luke chapter 1, we're going to start at verse 26. Y'all ready? Say ready. Cool. If you're not ready, I'm not asking you. Okay, so we're going to start at verse 26. It says, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. The virgin's name was Mary. That's our homegirl we're talking about. So the angel went to her, namely Mary, and said, greetings, you who are highly favored. Actually, if it's an angel, he probably has like an accent, right? Like, greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you. I'm just kidding. That was really bad. So Mary, obviously being greatly troubled at the terrible accent at his words, and wondered what kind of greeting this might be. But the angel said to her, don't be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you're to call him Jesus. And then go down to verse 38, her response. I am the Lord's servant, Mary answered. May your words to me be fulfilled. And then the angel left her. Can you imagine what Mary felt like? Because I think if we're being real, we get so comfortable in the Christmas story that we just read it like it's, normalcy. As if angels show up on your door every day and say, greetings, you who are highly favored. When's the who in here has ever had an angel appear to you and say those words? If you're raising your hand, you're lying. No one, for sure, you've never had an angel show up in your bedroom and say greetings. That alone is weird. That is weird. And then Mary, I don't know if you guys caught this. She is betrothed or engaged to Joseph. That does not mean they're exclusive. That does not mean they're like messing around, only messing around with each other kind of thing. Or like they don't want to put titles on it, but they're like together. This is like homegirl has a ring on her finger and there's a date on the calendar. They are engaged to be married, and an angel comes in and says, you're going to have a baby. And it's not going to be the normal way, like with your husband, which you guys can ask your parents about. Like, it's not going to be that way. The angel's going to, God's going to come, and you're going to give birth to the Son of God. No pressure, peace. And leaves. That's a lot. That's like a real life soap opera. And that's not like the cute soap operas like Grey's Anatomy. That's like what I was raised on, that are Spanish soap operas, telenovelas. That's like dramatic, hair flowing in the wind. Angel comes in, glowing with her highlight perfect, and then leaves. That is dramatic, what just happened. And Mary's left. I don't know if you guys knew this. She was like y'all's age. She was 14. So homegirl was young. And she just had an angel show up and say, okay. And then said, okay, well, I'm the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said. So what got her to the point that she was able to say that? Because I don't know if you realize we're still talking about Mary over 2,000 years later. I want my life to leave something that is still talked about 2,000 years later. I want to make history with my life. And the only way to do that is to prepare the way that Mary did. Mary did some stuff that if you put in your life and put into practice, you will live a life that leaves history behind you. Your life is too important for you to get some 2 million followers on TikTok and then you pass away and nobody remembers what you did. It's too fast. You have too much that you need to do right now. There are people behind you that need your life to count. Because I don't know if you guys realize this, there's other people in your future. Like beyond middle school and high school, there's a whole world after that. So what happens right now doesn't matter if it doesn't matter for something that lasts longer than you. So you need to know some things about how to make your life count in history. So number one, how do you make your life count and make history? You've got to kill your comfort zone. You think it was comfortable for Mary, who was engaged, to give birth to the Son of God? First of all, being pregnant in general is not comfortable. There ain't nothing about that that's comfortable. And if you read that, she had to make a journey from where she was all the way back because they were counting and doing a census while she was very pregnant. That's not comfortable. You want to know what else? Imagine what people were saying about her. She's engaged. And back then, they don't do what you're supposed to do when you're married before you're married. So if you get pregnant, something happened. Can you imagine what they were saying about her? Oh my gosh, do you think she messed around with that guy down the street? Do you think Joseph knows about this? Do you think they messed up? Do you know what Mary did? Can you imagine how misunderstood, judged, bullied that Mary was? Made fun of? And can you relate? Have you ever been misunderstood for doing the right thing? Have you ever been made fun of for maybe not picking on that person in school? Maybe misunderstood for reading your Bible or going to city group or being at Vibe instead of doing other things. Let me tell you, first of all, if you're already killing some of your comfort zone by doing things that make you feel judged by other people, you're in good company. When you get judged for things that are right, let me tell you some people in history that you're on board with, that your name could be written by. One of them is Mary. Another one, I don't know if you've heard of him, his name is Jesus. Let me give you another one, Martin Luther King Jr. If you want your name to be written down in history like people like that, then I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot be in your comfort zone. Nothing about a life worth living is comfortable. Nothing about that. Do you think Jesus was so comfortable to come down from heaven and become a baby, helpless, having to rely on people for everything? Or hanging on the cross? It's not comfortable. But leaving my one-bedroom apartment wasn't comfortable. And now I'm in an apartment that literally our family history is going to be made there. We're going to have a baby. We're going to have a baby girl that will learn how to walk, learn how to talk, learn how to roll over, have her first home. That's called history and legacy behind you. So what do you need to kill in your life that's comfortable? Do you need to get up earlier in the morning and read the Bible? Hello. Do you need to actually show up to city group when your city group leader texts you and you just try to ignore them a little bit till a couple days later? Do you need to maybe stop DMing that person at night because it's comfortable? Do you maybe need to stop responding to that person's DMs at night because it's comfortable? What do you need to be removed? Because look, if you're judged for doing the right things, history will make sure you're on the right side. If you're judged right now for doing what's correct and holy and what God asks of you, it doesn't matter who the haters are right now, because give them 5 years, they're still going to be where they're at now, but you'll be further ahead making history because you're doing the right thing. So you got to kill your comfort zone. Number 2, if you want to make history, you have to say yes no matter what the cost. Say yes no matter what the cost. It cost Mary something. It cost her, first of all, 9 months, 10 months technically, of being pregnant. It cost her her reputation, her time. She had to her and Joseph put off their time of getting married till after he was born. It cost her her schedule, her normalcy, probably some friends. You got to count the cost. So look, even if you're not a Christian, if you want to be successful, you've got to do your homework. You got to respect your parents. You got to be respectful towards other people. You've got to not gossip. It's going to cost you something. Because see, not making history is easy. That's what everybody does. If it was easy to make history, history books would be a lot longer than they are right now. They'd look like the Yellow Pages books that nobody opens. Or probably your Instagram people that you say you're following, but you really don't know most of them. But if you want to make history, if you want your name to be written down somewhere that people actually know, and they know your name, and they know your reputation, and they say, oh my gosh, I love that person. They always are so kind. They are amazing. They leave a legacy behind. They left something that their family said they could never do, and then they went on and did it. They said, some people might have told them that they're never going to graduate from college, but they graduated from college. Some people might have said, oh, you're a screw up. You're never going to amount to anything, and then you're going to go on to be a CEO of a company. It's going to take some hard decisions right now. And bigger than all of that is you have to say yes to being made fun of, and you got to follow Jesus. Because making your life count while you're on earth is great, but leaving behind eternity, making sure you bring people into heaven with you, that's much more important. Because everything that's here is temporary. Mary, her life, she's not still here. But we're talking about her story because it was historical and eternal, and it meant something because she counted the cost and then said yes. So what's it going to cost you? You have to decide whose voice is most important in your life. Is your potential more important than the voice of your haters? Is it more important than your social media following? Is it more important than the comfortable thing to do on a Friday night? Is it more important to you than anything else? Just say yes. Because I don't know about you, but I want to live a life like Mary. Can you imagine 2,000 years from now? What is that, 4,020? And they're still talking about you and the history you left? In a good way? They're saying, wow, how amazing their life. How amazing what they did. How amazing what Leland did. She spoke around the world, and she changed people's lives for God. She chose to stand up for something when nobody else did. Don't you want your life to count for that? Don't you want your life to be different? Somebody like Sophie and Jasmine that are right in the front, they're somebody that 2,000 years from now can say, they poured into my life. They showed up every single Sunday. They cared about me. They loved me. They left a legacy behind that was bigger than themselves. And people will say, because of these two, I am still alive. I love Jesus, and I'm in heaven. Don't you want to leave a legacy like that? If you do, you got to say yes. Say no to every other voice. Honestly, even if it's the ones of your closest friends. If they're not for you and for your legacy, they don't need to be in your circle. And that's okay. You know, a lot of times in the world, we like to say that if you're being judged for something, that it's you in the wrong. But if you're being judged for the right things, they're in the wrong. If you're doing the correct things and your friends are making fun of you, I'm just going to say, be very blunt, get better friends. And you know where those friends are found? They're found at Citigroup and at Next Steps and at Dream Team and at Radiant Church on Sunday mornings. Mary had to be the one. Oh, I like that light effect there. That was very fancy. Mary had to be the one, and she got to be the one. You know, God could pick anybody to do what he wants to do. Imagine if we were talking about some girl like named Anna or Bethany or something, not Mary. Because he could have used anybody. I mean, she could have said no. She said yes, despite the cost. If you want to make history, you've got to say yes. And number 3, to make history, you've got to shift your perspective. Her response to the angel is something that I have used and implemented in my life every time I have to make a decision that's hard. And can I tell you, some decisions are really hard. But when it's God asking you to make the decision, the answer's got to be yes. And you've got to shift your perspective. Mary didn't focus on how scared she was, the fear she had, other people's opinions. She shifted her perspective. She reminded herself, I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me as you have said. I think God's calling some people to live a life that's higher than what you're comfortable with, and you've got to decide, what is your response going to be? Are you going to focus on the fear and focus on what you're giving up and focus on what people might say or how uncomfortable it makes you feel or I'm really not sure? Or maybe will you focus on your insecurity and think, well, I'm not good enough for that. God could definitely not be calling me to that. Or are you going to shift your perspective, say, I am the Lord's servant. I am a child of God. You know, when we discredit the calling God gives us because we think we're too small, we're actually saying we think God is too small. Because he created you. And when you create something, you know the best purpose for it. When you create, when you build, when you design something, you know the best use for it. You know, honestly, your phone could be used for a lot of things. I could use this as a coaster. I could use it, I'm not saying I should, I'm just saying I could. I could use this instead of a baseball, I could throw this and catch it in a glove. I could use it when I'm going to photo shoots instead of my really nice camera that I spend a lot of money on. I could use this. I could use it as a flashlight, which isn't bad, right? It works. And I think a lot of times we settle for that kind of life. We say, I could do this. I could go do that on the weekend. And you can. You 100% can. I could date around. It doesn't really matter. I can. No one's telling me no. You know, I can text this person that way. Nobody else is going to know. I could go to that website. I could settle for this easy life. I could sleep in on Sundays. I could choose to think that I'll always have anxiety because God wouldn't want to heal me. I'll always have depression. I'll always be what my parents said. I'm always going to be a screw up. I'm always going to fail. I'm always going to be messed up. I'm always going to pick the wrong people. I'm always going to surround myself with. You could 100% do all those things. And the beautiful and really hard, gracious thing about God is that He gives you the decision. You can use your iPhone however you want to. So if you want to keep using it as a coaster, that's a really expensive coaster. Paperweight. But the person who designed this phone knows the potential that is in this phone. You know what happens on this phone? I can call people. I can pray for people over the phone. I can experience miracles that people tell me about over the phone. I can share Jesus with people over this phone. I can communicate with people around the world. I have family all over the world, and I can communicate with them. What if the purpose God has for you is bigger than what you're using yourself and your life for right now? What if God is asking you, look, I don't know what your family history looks like. I don't know what your dating history looks like. I don't know what you did yesterday, but you're called to something bigger. Mary was so young. I think so many times we wait to be like when I'm older. When I'm older, God will have a plan for me. God didn't create you and pop you out your mom at 20 years old. That means at every stage of your life, there is a purpose. Because if there wasn't, God doesn't waste anything. He would have just made you the exact age for the calling and the only thing you ever had to do, and then you die and go to heaven. But He didn't. See, He has you in years of your life. He has you in middle school. Where are my middle schoolers at? Do you know when you're in middle school, you can make an impact that will outlive you and outdo anything you ever imagined with your life? And if you would grab onto it now, you would be the one people go to later asking for advice. Where are my high schoolers at? Do you understand the potential on your life? Do you get that you're literally shifting history? Your generation is writing down history right now, not in 10 years. Don't wait. Trust me, please don't wait till college. Because what habits you do right now, they're the same habits going with you in college. We usually think, oh, I'll make history when I got myself together. Let me tell you something. You ain't ever gonna get yourself together. Until we get to heaven, we're always gonna have issues. You're always gonna make mistakes. You're never gonna be perfect, and people are gonna hurt you. But God knows all of that and still wants to use your life. God knows every issue. So many times we come to God and we put these fake masks on and say, well, maybe when I look pretty enough and polished enough, and when I get off this drug, and when I stop doing this thing online, and when I stop doing all these habits, then God will want me. He wants you now. Yeah. And maybe what you've walked through is what He's going to write history with tomorrow. Yeah. Your life is too important. Don't be somebody just like all the other people in the world. There's plenty of people whose names won't go down in history if we're being honest. Don't be one of them. Mary wasn't 20. She wasn't even 18. So why don't you use that right now? Why don't you want to be a Mary? I think there's people in here with every eye closed, head bowed, so no one's looking around. I think someone's feeling like, God's calling me to do something more. And I know that I've been saying no, and I know that God's been asking me to do this thing, and I know that God's asking me to live a different way, and I've just been running from it. But tonight, you want to make the decision that, I know God, and I want to make my life count for something. So if that's you, and you do know the Lord, but you want to make your life count for something bigger than yourself, when I count to 3, I want you to raise your hand. If you don't know Jesus, don't worry, we're going to ask you that next. But if you do, and you want to make your life count for something, and you want to make history, I'm going to count to 3. I want you to raise your hand. And it's not for me. Don't look around at your neighbors. Don't worry about them. You want your name in history, not theirs. You make this decision that you're going to start living a way that's going to make history. You're going to kill that comfort zone. You're going to say yes, and you're going to shift your perspective. So 1, 2, 3. If that's you, raise your hand. So where you're at, put your hands down. And you're not going to say this one out loud because I don't want anybody to know this decision. Pray this in your own heart to the Lord because he hears you. Just say, dear God, I want to make history. God, use my life. God, show me what my next step is. Help me shift my perspective. Help me say yes to you every day. God, help my life count for something bigger than me. And y'all keep having your moment with God. I want to talk to different people in the room. And that's if you've never made that decision to follow God. Or maybe you made it one time a long time ago, but you are not living that way and you want to come back. You're just hearing about Jesus. You've heard of him in like Christmas stories and stuff. But now you want to make a decision. You're like, I hear about this and I want my life to count for something and I want it to be for Jesus. And you want to give your life to him. He came down to earth at Christmas because he wanted a relationship with you. And that's what sent him to the cross, to die for all your mistakes, all your issues. So if you want to start a relationship with God, if you want your life to count for something bigger than you want to know what you were created for, I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to raise your hand. No one's looking around, so it's just between you and God. So if that's you, you want to start a relationship, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Come on, so many hands. Okay, we're all going to say this prayer out loud. Repeat after me. But if you just made that decision, you say this like God's listening because he is right there. So y'all repeat after me. Say, dear Jesus, thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for coming to earth. Thank you for dying for me. Forgive me of my past, my present, and my future. Help me follow you all the days of my life. Make my life count. I believe in you. In your name I pray. Amen. Guys, real quick, there was a lot of people that just made that decision. Can we go crazy for them? All right, everybody stand up real quick. Here's what we're going to do. It's the last Vibe of 2020. So I want you to have a moment with God before we end tonight. We'll still end with a party later, and it'll be awesome. It'll be hype. It'll be great. But I asked the worship team to sing the song Available, and I want you to have a moment with Jesus. And if you made that, you want to make history, sing this song right to God. Say, God, I'm here. I'm available. And see if he'll tell you what he wants to do with your life. I'm challenging you to pray to hear God's voice for your life. And if you've got a city group leader that if you want to like run up to them and be like, hey, can you pray for me real quick? Do it. So I'm going to pray over you. We're going to worship a little bit. Is that okay? Use this time because I'm telling you, God's in this room and you are not too insignificant for him to want to speak to. He wants to speak to you. So God, we acknowledge your presence. Would you speak to us? We are available to you. We don't want to be like everyone else and live an ordinary life. We want to live a life that leaves history behind. God, would you reveal calling and purpose and potential to us? People who have never heard your voice before, would we hear your voice for the first time? God, would you meet us here? Would we be open? Would we be able to hear you? In your name I pray. Amen. Y'all, let's have a moment with God.
Hear you call, I am available, and I say, yes, Lord, I Here I am. You can have it all. You can have it all. Here I am. Here I am. You can have it all. You can have it all. Here I am. Here I am. You can have it all. You can have it all. Here I am. Here I am. You can have it all. You can have it all.
Go, let's go. Wow, guys, what a service, what a way to end 2020. Hey, everyone, can you just come with me and just thank Pastor Sarah for such an amazing word? Guys, honestly, I can't imagine a better message to end 2020 on. So hey guys, before we let you guys go, there's just a few announcements that I just want to remind you guys about. So first of all, congratulations if you made the decision to follow Christ. Can we give them a round of applause, guys? So guys, if you made that decision tonight, we want you to text a word, I am ready, to number 75787. Again, it's 75787. Text, I am ready. And also, if you have any prayer requests, text, I am ready to that number. All right? Guys, who here is excited about Christmas? Let me hear it. That's right. So guys, Christmas is right around the corner, and that means, yep, Christmas Eve services are right around the corner as well. So, like we said earlier, we have Christmas Eve services the 23rd and the 24th of December. The 23rd, we have it at this location, and the 24th, we have it in all the other locations. So, make sure to register for that. Tell your friends, tell your family, it's gonna get hype. Guys, this might be the last Vibe of the year, but it's not the last Vibe ever. Guys, remember, January 13th is how we're kicking off 2020. Who's excited for that? And that's right, and we all know Pastor Aaron is gonna be coming. He's bringing the word. Bring your friends, tell everyone, bring your pets. I'm just kidding, but do bring your friends. Bring everyone, guys. It's gonna be hype. And then guys, finally, guys, let's just finish this off the best way that we know how, and that's partying together. So worship team, let's take it off.